what you do is you create a track, right? Create one track. Well, create two tracks, right? So you want to name this one kick, and name the next one like music. Okay, so now you got two tracks, two regular audio tracks, and what you want to do is you want to grab a a track that you've either a professionally released track of whatever music you're doing, whatever music you like, whatever tracks that you like that you think sound good, that you bought from either Beatport, Tracksource, iTunes, whatever, something that's like professionally released. Okay, and what you want to do is bring I usually bring like four or five different tracks. And what I do is, so here's one track right here, okay? So I drag it in, and then what I do, so once you drag it in, you click it open, make sure it's not warped, right? Sometimes you might have the warp on, so take off the warp, okay? That's the first thing you do, make sure there's no warping on it. And then the second thing you do, which is really important, is where it says audio 2, you want to make sure it's external out. So the sound coming out of this does not go through the master. Like in case you got a limiter on the master or you got some effects on the master, you don't want the reference track going through the master. You want it to be going out exactly the way it sounds, like the way it's released on iTunes or wherever you're buying it. You want it to sound exactly just like that. So when you reference, you can get your sound close to the actual professional release. Okay, and then the next thing to do is you want to see I got kick up here, kick and music, right? So on the kick section, I'm looking for a part where the kick comes in, where you just hear the kick. And the reason why I'm doing that is because when I start off the track, start mixing, I start with the kick, and I like to get the kick to a level to where it's to a level where these tracks are at. So where the releases are at, right? So let's see. So you look for where the kick's at. See, now there's the kick, right? I'll do it like right where you don't hear any of that effect anymore. Actually, I'll start from right here. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll grab this, then I'll drag it over to the music track, okay, and then I go in here, make sure there's no warping, play it, whoops, and then you see here, you got to change it to the audio to external out, make sure that's right. So you got external out, and then unmute that one, then you listen. So then on this one, you want to go to where there's music in it, basically to the part where there's the most sounds coming in, like the bass, you got the melodies, whatever tracks you're using. Bass tone so deep, you can feel it. Bass tone so deep, you can feel it when you. So I'll go like right here. You move. Okay, so you got this. You move. And then you got the kick. You move. All right, so then what I do after that, or what you want to do just to make it easier, so you can always have it, ready to use on any track. I would, highlight both of them, Command G to group them. I would group them, right? Then I would just call this reference tracks, right? And then as soon as you got all the reference tracks, put in here like 5 or 6 of them. So you got the kick, then you got the music. And so when you got a track going and you're referencing, which I'm going to show you, during the in the next chapters, exactly how we go about it. So you're able to hear just the kick, and then you want to compare that kick to your kick and make sure they're sounding somewhat similar or they're in the same ballpark. That way, when you going through the mixing process, your track is at a level and it's sounding, somewhat in the same ballpark as the professional releases. All right, so then what I'll do after I put them all in, you can close this, and then you could drag this over to wherever you want. So you can put it in the audio effects, you can put it in the sample packs, user library, right? So you can just go like this and drag it over, and there it is right there. So now after you made all the reference tracks, you could let's just say this isn't here anymore, right? Let's see how you have is that. So then you can just grab the reference track that you made, bring it over, and boom, there you got it. And there it is. All right, and then let me show you mine. So let's delete that, and then I got mine over here. So bring it over. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's mine, right? So let me show you how it sounds. So solo it. Just the kicks. So what I just did here is I took off. See, it was set to 1 bar, which it'll play a whole bar before it changes a different clip. Watch. See, 1 whole bar. A bar. So if you want to change that, you go to no bars, and it'll go just straight to it. Okay, and then if you go to the music part. So you see all those. So I got all the same tracks, and these tracks right here, it's all the music referencing, and this over here is all the kick referencing. So when I'm working with the kick, I'm just referencing here with the kick or the drums, the hats or whatnot. I'm using this side over here. But if I'm listening to more of the main part of the music and making, when your mix is almost done and you got everything in there, then you can reference with this side. And to see where your track stands in comparison to these other releases, you know what I mean? So, and that's how you're going to be able to, get your sound. Like if you hear something, okay, wait, mine has way less bass, or man, my trebles are way too low, my highs are way too low. And then from there you can start working your track to get it closer to this, to the professional releases. All right. So now this is a one-way reference. But the way I've mainly been doing it is using a plugin called Reference. Let's see where it's at. Reference right here. This plugin is called Reference, right? Usually you put it on the master, at the end of the chain on the master. Okay, so with this, so when I was making this course, I was like, well, I'm going to be using these different plugins. I want you guys to be able to use these plugins too. So I emailed this guy who created this plugin, Reference 2. I emailed him and asked him if it's that. I told him I was making a course, if it's possible that students would be able to get some kind of a discount. And he emailed me back. He said, yeah. He's like, you know what? If they can show me that they're enrolled in the course. So like if you show him that your account, show them that you're enrolled in the course, right? Take a screenshot of it, whatever. Then he'll actually give you 25% off this plugin. And the plugin I think is like, I'm not sure, it's like $60 or something like that. But yeah, so if you're enrolled in the course, you show them a picture of your account, you'll get this plugin for 25% off. You don't have to buy it. You can just use this and know it. I don't get a kickback on it. I'm not getting any kind of a kickback. You can use it or not. I use this because it makes everything so much easier for me when it comes to referencing. So, it's really up to you. But that's just a little thing you can do. You can get 25% off. And the cool thing is, if you want to use it now, you can use it for free for like 15 days. It's a 15-day free trial. So you can use the thing for 15 days and see how you like it. If you like it, cool, you can get 25% off. If you don't like it, cool, just use the Ableton referencing that I showed you just a second ago. Okay, so now with this, the way this works is super cool. It's like, so you drag a song into here, right? There's one, another one, another one. Now you got the tracks right here, okay? Now, so what you do is you can create a loop. Let me turn these off for a second. Create a loop. Oh, you know what? I have something playing. Whoops. Okay. So that's playing, right? Oh, excuse me. Oh, that's because it's going exterior up. Alright, so now, here's original and then reference. Original, reference, original. So now, say we got this right here looped. You click on the reference. Well, it doesn't matter where you click, it goes back and forth. So you got the reference, right?
Y'all know I got scratched.
The reference plays, and then you can play the original. You can go back and forth really easy. Then you can go through the different reference tracks. And you can loop wherever you want. You can loop right here. You can create a bunch of different loops. You know, if you go if you YouTube this plugin, you can see exactly how it works. There's so many different things you can do with it. You can see the LUFS. You can see the you know, if it has if your track has more punch than that track. So like the punch dots, you know, which one has more more punch, as in like more compression and whatnot, and then it gives you the difference of stereo width from your track to the reference tracks, and it gives you which ones are louder. So for instance, so right here, that's the reference track and the original track. So the reference track has this much more highs, like let's see, where is that, 2.3? It has like 2 decibels more highs over here at around 17,000. So you're able to do a bunch of technical things, but I use it a little bit simpler. I just basically use it the way I would use these references, but you know, we'll get into that when we get there. So and then you'll see more in depth of how I use this. So I'll probably be going back and forth. I'll be using this, and I'll be using the one I showed you that's in Ableton that you can use. That way you can kind of see how to do it, and then you can choose which way you want to go.